I'd like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting on March 15, 2018 at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask Clerk Simsky for roll call, please.
Mayor Gunther?
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Addington?
Here.
Trustee Barker?
Here.
Trustee Barry?
Here.
Trustee Guzzo?
Here.
Trustee Little?
Here.
Trustee Nero?
Here.
Attorney Zemanek?
Here.
Village Manager May?
Here.
Finance Director Parker is here.
He's here. All right, would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. The first item on the agenda is open forum. I know we have none written requests, but if anybody's here that wants to talk about something that's not on the agenda, this is the time to do it. So seeing none, I'll close open forum, move on to reports. Under my report, I'm going to ask the Marker District 60 representatives to come to the podium. Whenever we have a school district in our community running a referendum, we allow them to come and give facts why they're running the referendum. 201 did. We offered to Community High School District 99 that they had the opportunity tonight, but right now we have Marker School District, and if you can introduce yourself and tell us about the referendum.
Hi, my name is Wayne Driscoll. I'm a parent of a Marker District 60 student and a member of the Citizens for D60 Vote Yes. I'd like to give some information about the referendum and the district. Marker District 60 is an elementary district which serves the area south of 55th Street. While the district encompasses parts of 5 villages in the area, over 48% of the students are actually Westmont residents. In the March 20th primary election, Marker District 60 residents will have the opportunity to vote on a $28 million building referendum that will provide renovations for Holmes Elementary School, which serves kindergarten through 2nd grade, and Westview Hills Middle School, which 6th through 8th grade. The district began a strategic planning process more than a year ago to determine the best way to move forward as we faced increasing enrollment in aging facilities at both Holmes and Westview Hills. The district has seen a 7.5% growth in enrollment in the last 7 years. As of January of 2018, the district had 84 more students enrolled than this time last year, which is a 6% increase over the previous year. Homeschool is at full capacity with no more usable space available. Preschool students are being taught in mobile units behind the building. The district administration assesses future enrollment by tracking the number of births and the zip codes of the district. And using historical enrollment numbers, we can project what percentage of these births will actually enroll in the district as kindergartens. These projections show that enrollment will be relatively stable, but given that we are out of space, we will need more space to continue to accommodate any growth. The district administration worked with parents, teachers, and students to come up with a plan to address these needs. I've been part of this process from the beginning. The first pass was to look at everything that various stakeholders indicated were needs, and the cost came up to $45 million, which we recognized immediately was unreasonable. The project then was pared down to look at, to prioritize needs and to come down to eliminate as much as we could, and we came out with a $28 million cost, which will focus on 3 key areas. The first is relieving overcrowding and leaving accommodations for any future growth, enhancing the safety of the students, and addressing the aging facilities. Holmes Elementary was built in 1961, and Westview Hills Middle School was built in 1974, so they're definitely at the age where they need to have some upgrades. The highlights of the project include, at Holmes Elementary School, enclosing the current open classrooms. The 1st and 2nd grade classrooms are open with no walls and no lockable doors, and as recent events have shown, this is not a safe facility, not a safe environment for our children. Partitions and cabinets have been placed between these classrooms and the hallway areas to try to minimize disruptions with little success. The plans also is to add an addition to the building to fully implement full-day kindergarten and expand the early childhood programming, and in the process eliminating the mobile units. And this addition will also provide space for specialized services such as special education and interventions. Many of these services today take place in the center aisle of the open classroom space, which is subject to frequent interruptions as students and staff use the hallways. At Westview Hills Middle School, they also have some open classrooms with the open concept, which is popular in the 60s and 70s with no walls or lockable doors. An addition will be added to the building for new modern science labs, and current instructional space for STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, consumer sciences, and the fine arts will be renovated, and additional space will be provided as the current spaces are undersized given the student population. In addition, plans are to renovate and expand the current cafeteria, creating an adaptive space to be used for student lunch breaks, instructional opportunities, as well as a performance space which would be available for use by the broader community. Some notes on this: the tax impact on a $300,000 home will be approximately $12 per month in the property tax bill increase. The money for this referendum by law can only be used for building and furniture purposes and will not be used for salaries, curriculum improvements, or any other needs not related to facilities improvements. The district has committed to utilize the current taxing authority to fund the full-day kindergarten program, and current budget assumptions support this. For more information, I encourage you to visit the Marker District 60 website at marker.org or the Citizens for D60 Vote Yes website at d60voteyes.org. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you.
Does anyone have any questions?
No?
Okay, thank you.
Well done, thank you. Larry, I don't see anybody here from District 99, so we'll move on. That's all I have for this evening. I'll go to Trustee Addington. Oh, I missed Clerk Simsky. I was trying to get you done fast.
I just want to remind everybody that the general primary election is March 20th. Early voting is now opened through March 19th at the DuPage County Election Commission in Wheaton and at Downers Grove Village Hall. For early voting details and additional locations, visit www.dupagecountyco.org/early voting. And also, I just want to remind everybody that the Rotary Club Reverse Raffle is scheduled for April 27th at 6 p.m. at 25 North Cass, which is the Knights of Columbus Hall. It's a very important fundraiser for our Rotary Club because it's for scholarships. We use all the money we make from that for our local student scholarships. So just encourage everybody to please join us. That's all.
Thank you. Now we'll go to Trustee
Now go to
Addington.
me. Well, first and foremost, happy St. Patrick's Day, which is always important this time of year. So we'll pass that on. The next thing is, for those who haven't seen it, you've got one more weekend to see Blythe Spirit, which is put on by PVPN. And I haven't seen it. I'm going to go see it this weekend, but I have heard them practicing it at the community center when I've been closing the building on Sunday. I think it's supposed to be an extremely funny play, and it should be very good. They're doing it at Westview Hills Middle School. And it's Friday night at 7, Saturday night at 7, I think Sunday afternoon. But I don't know the time of the afternoon session, but you can get more information by calling the Park District. And the last thing I have tonight is that community development, the committee that I kind of oversee, is on the 26th of April. That's at 4:30 here in this building before the board meeting. And we've got several new things on the agenda that we're going to be talking about, including some potential land that we may want to talk about annexing in, and some other new things. So more than happy to have you join us on the 26th. And that's it, sir.
Well, thank you. Trustee Guzzo.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things. First off, the Citizens Fire Academy will be starting next Tuesday, March 20th. We currently have 13 registered for this program, so it's a good showing. I welcome everybody to take the opportunity to take it. It's great. I was in the first class many years ago, and it's just a great hands-on experience. The fire department will be celebrating its 95th anniversary this coming October 2018. If any citizens want to help in putting together the celebration and open house, please contact Chris Hardy at the fire department, 630-981-6424. And as I'm sure everyone is aware, this past weekend we changed our clocks, and it's time to remind everyone to please change their batteries in their smoke detectors. If you need a replacement smoke detector, please contact the Westmont Fire Department, Chris Hardy, at 630-981-6424. It's very important to get that taken care of. Reminder for the police department, the volleyball game for Special Olympics is April 11th at 6 o'clock at the high school. Teams will include our police, our fire department, and community unit school district 201. Everyone is welcome to attend. It's a great fundraiser for Special Olympics. Hope to see everybody there. And then the Knights is still holding their Lenten fish fry for a few more weeks. It's at the Knights of Columbus Hall, which is 25 North Cass Avenue. It runs from 5 to 8 o'clock. Great food, great company, so everyone's invited to come on out and participate. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Barry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had an EDC meeting last week, and we had a really exciting presentation from Holiday Group of Portage, Indiana, for a 94-unit, 5-floor apartment / mixed-use restaurant, maybe retail on the bottom for what we call Mary Egan Park, which is at Cass and Quincy here. So very exciting project. The Holiday Group has done is completing a project in Downers Grove. So that was really the highlight of the meeting. We also had District 60 there. At one point, we had your superintendent, we had District 99, and also District 201. So we had all 3 superintendents in the house. And again, we encourage everyone to look into, this affects a lot of Westmont residents, that the possibility of the referendum, as they've stated, $65 per year on a $300,000 house for the Marker School District. And then for District 99, they're also going for a referendum, and the presentations could have been identical. They said that they could have used them both. And then for the same token, for a $300,000 home in Westmont, that would affect it $144 per year. So again, as Ginny had mentioned, the election's coming up. People should really educate themselves on this and hopefully make a good decision. So with that, we had Westmont Restaurant Week had wrapped up on Saturday. And if Larry, if you'd want to come up and tell us all the exciting stuff that happens.
Thank you, Trustee Barry. Just 2 real quick items. One is a quick recap on the Westmont Restaurant Week. It was March 2nd through the 11th, 29 participating restaurants. We literally had just short of 20,000 views of our Channel 7 interview of Greg Pilf to introduce the Westmont Restaurant Week. We had tens of thousands of hits on our Westmont Chamber website because we directed everybody there to look at menus. And so the response compared to last year was about a 75% net increase in traffic on our website. Great. So heard a lot of people talking about it. So again, the feedback on that was extremely positive. Second thing, starting today is the Reader's Choice, our 3rd annual Reader's Choice. The restaurants are out there are competing for your votes. You can vote once a day for 27 different categories out of our 100 restaurants here in Westmont. So encourage everybody to vote now through April the 15th, April 4th, and vote early, vote often, as they say in the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. And lastly, our next EDC meeting will be here on Wednesday, April 4th at 9 a.m. And again, the public is welcome, and there's a lot of exciting things going on in Westmont. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Nero.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things. Today we had our Public Works Committee meeting. We didn't get through all of it, but one of the main items was an annual review and annual report from the Public Works Department. It will be posted on our village website. Please check it out. A lot of good information on what they did last year and what's going to be happening in 2018 on planned projects and things. So it's definitely worth taking a peek at. We also chatted about the north side of town water tower, putting a new water tower on the north side of town, potentially On the high school property, we're discussing that, but we also have a couple other locations in mind, so more to come on that. Let's see, we chatted about a downtown streetscape project down by the depot and the tracks to kind of beautify the area a little bit when people come in on the train and make the downtown area look a little bit nicer. So expect some next steps there to kind of see what that's going to look like. And of course, we saw 20% design progress of our new Westmont Public Works facility. So we really dove into what potentially that would look like, where it would be, and also next steps on kind of seeing the design progress as it comes in. So it'd be neat to see what that pans out and looks like. Also, how much it's going to cost. Let's see. We also had, last week on the 10th, we had the Water Tower Model Building event, which was at the Westmont Junior High School. Director Ramsey mentioned it was a great event, a lot of participants, so it's nice to see the kids taking advantage of that. We saw a picture of all the examples, which is kind of cool, so some neat projects there. Let's see, moving on, we chatted a little bit, and I'll just kind of run through some of the highlights here of each division. One thing I did want to mention is Mike is finally putting together, not finally, but is going to put together an operator and training program with their school district, which I think is a great idea. Gives kids an alternative direction if they don't want to go to college, or they want to just are interested in helping the water department out. And it's a neat internship opportunity with the village. With Mike's help, he's going to get them certified with the EPA to be an official water operator. And those are real high-paying jobs right out of high school. So it's a good thing here, helping local kids, and I think it's a great project. Next, street division, we had a little update on some public works projects, the snow removal. According to our village forester, we're going to be planting 415 trees this spring, which means finally the emerald ash borer is finally done, and we can move on from that expensive project that we've been dealing with for the past 5-6 years. And then we talked about some beautification projects Public Works is working on along 63rd Street, so it'd be neat to see that happen. And then the last thing we chatted about was well number 13 is one of our emergency wells. It's in need of repair, so the board's going to chat about that at a budget workshop to kind of see what steps we want to take, either cap it or repair it. And then moving on, in engineering, you can see on this report, if you go online, lots of new projects for 2018. I encourage everybody to take a look. Again, we're staying true to the program we designed with the dedicated revenue stream and actually doing a lot of projects to improve stormwater here in town, so that's nice to see. And let's see, last but not least, I think that's about it, Mayor. That's enough on that. Our next Public Works Committee is June 21st. Again, go check out the report. It was a long meeting, but a lot of good information. Thanks to all the Public Works for sharing it all with us. And of course, on March 20th, go vote for your local candidates. I think there's a couple from Westmont on the ballot, but also vote for the restaurants too. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Trustee Little.
Thank you, Mayor. First item is the Administration Finance Committee meeting. We have everyone is scheduled the first Thursday board meeting of every month, and our next one will be April 12th. It's 4:30 in this room. Please feel free to come out and join us. More importantly is our budget workshop will be April 5th. This is open to the public. We'll all be here and going through a lot of numbers, and Spencer will be crunching for us a lot, so that'll be great. 6 o'clock in this room, April 5th. So don't forget that one. Going on to special events, Westmont special events, we had a Irish Jig and Swig local pub tour on Saturday. It was a huge success. We had over about 110 paying pub crawlers in attendance, along with 10 WSEC chaperones. And we had a great time. We visited 4 local pubs and had a bus driver. Everybody was safe and there were no casualties. Happy to announce that. So that worked out very, very well. Cruising nights starts up in June, July, and August, every Thursday night. We won't have one the 12th of July because of the Taste of Westmont. However, there will be a total of 13 cruise nights, so come out and enjoy those. Taste of Westmont is already scheduled for July 12th through the 15th. Really big event downtown, and hope to see everybody there. And then my last item is I would like to introduce Allison Clemens and Dan Rattery from the Westmont Chamber to announce a new Westmont Spring Senior Festival coming up on April 13th.
Thank you, Trustee Little. Again, my name is Allison Clemens from Clemens Enterprises, specializing in Medicare. With me is Dan Rattery from Senior Helping Seniors. He's the owner there in home care. And Katie Cassidy, she's the agency supervisor at Home With You in home care. We are representing the committee. It's a senior resource group. It's a committee of the Westmont Chamber of Commerce, and all the members provide support services for seniors. We're excited to announce we have this Westmont Spring Senior Festival. It's sponsored by the Westmont Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau and the Westmont Park District. We have passed out flyers to you, and it's also on the screen. It's being held on Friday, April 13th, from 8:30 to 11:30. The Spring Senior Festival is being held at the Westmont Center at 55 East Richmond. The event's going to feature health screenings, speakers, raffles, music and refreshments, special craft table to create masterpieces, and also information on community resources. You can get more information if you go to www.westmontchamber.com for the full event details, and it's free. There's no cost for you to participate in any of the Spring Senior Festival. Come out and enjoy this new event. Thank you for having us. Do you have any questions?
I don't know if anybody else, Dan, do you guys want to add to that?
No, we just want to welcome all the seniors in the community and the surrounding area, as well as their caregivers or anybody that loves them,
Free.
just to come and learn about everything we do to help seniors in the community.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's
Thank
all I
you.
have, Mayor.
Oh, thanks. Trustee Barker.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things this evening. The Environmental Improvement Committee met and on March 5th and to report back on that, because we don't have that in a committee meeting before the board, but to report back on that, there's a conversation. We had the NHS from the high school come in, and they are partnering with the library to put in a seed garden. And they're very excited about that. I've actually invited them to the board meeting under open forum to come and explain that to the board and the community. And I was hoping they'd come tonight, but we were trumped by another meeting to do with the seed garden. But they may be here in a couple of weeks to talk to us about that. But very excited, very sharp group of kids. And this is getting rave reviews in the high school and at the library. The other thing that we had set up was the storm drain stenciling. In years past, we've done this in relationship to helping the village accomplish stenciling the storm drains. And that date has been set for April 28th from 9 o'clock in the morning till noon. We're taking all kinds of volunteers, and I'm asking a special invite to our community families and our Boy Scouts, Girl Scout troops, sports teams. We don't care who it is they want to come in there and help the environment by stenciling storm drains. And it's a nice event, and it's a good thing to do to serve the community and take care of our environment. So I'm asking for your help with that. And then we also have a couple of Eagle Scout projects going on, and one of them there is going to come forward very soon is a rain barrel decorating contest, and that's going to be done by an Eagle Scout here in the community, and there's a lot of excitement being generated for that. And again, this is the time of year now when we think about spring is to promote the sale of the rain barrels and the usage of the rain barrels, and we're doing everything we can to give them to the residents at cost. The village doesn't make a profit on those, but we certainly encourage everybody to make use of the rain barrel program. And then the other thing that we need community help on, again, there has been a number, as Trustee Nero was saying, a number of tree plantings. And Mr. Yater, our forester, told us at the prior meeting that the trees that we've planted now to take care of the emerald ash borer, all the new trees, were affected by last year's drought. And the evidence of that won't happen. You won't notice that until this year. So if we have a dry summer again, they'll be affected again, and that'll show up next year. So we've invested in putting back all these trees and beautifying neighborhoods and public areas, and we have to attend to those trees. So there's going to be a resolution asking folks to make an effort to water their parkway trees so that we don't lose those. And they're a tremendous asset to our community and the environment. And the EIC is very passionate about that. So unless you want them knocking on your door, take care of your parkway trees. And then finally, another thing that's leading to some more environmental good things for our community is we had discussed the Green Region 2 Compact, and we have a recommendation coming forward shortly for the board to sign off on about all the environmental things that Westmont is doing to stay within the county and the community in improvements. And it's all work from the Environmental Improvement Committee and our village staff, making sure that we do the right thing as far as the environment. And you'll see that very soon, and I'm asking for your support on that. And then, moving on to Westmont First, which is going to meet Monday night, March 19th at 6 p.m. at the library. We will have a planning meeting as we gear up for our next roundtable discussion, and that discussion is going to be on our service groups and volunteers in the community. And we want to really focus on that because all our organizations are so, and our community is so volunteer dependent. We want to have a roundtable discussion and try to find good and new and better and best practices to encourage more volunteerism in the community and get people engaged and involved. So we're excited about that. And then, again, that's an opportunity if you have Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, sports teams. We're looking for all of that kind of help as volunteers and a way to reach them. And then lastly, and very important to me, is tomorrow is my only grandson's first birthday. He'll be 1 year old. And I want to wish Dylan a happy birthday.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Does any trustees see anything they want to be removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none, then I'll ask Manager May to please read.
Consent agenda this evening. Our first is the village board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the village board meeting held March 1st, 2018. It's followed by finance ordinance number 22, the amount of $1,584,745.70. We have one purchase order this evening, R.W. Dunham and Company. This is final payment for work that was already contracted and completed regarding the Morning Glory road improvements. That dollar amount is $98,882.63 and represents the final payment. That brings the total of that purchase order with finance ordinance number 22 to $1,683,628.33. We have three proclamations this evening. First is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Board to consider a proclamation to declare April 8th through 14th, 2018 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the Village of Westmont. Next, board to consider a proclamation declaring April 3rd, 2018 as Mayor's Day of Recognition for National Service. And lastly, board to consider a proclamation to declare April 18th through the 14th, 2018 as National Library Week in the Village of Westmont. That concludes the consent agenda.
Do I have a motion to approve as read?
Motion to approve Addington.
Second, Little?
Motion been made and second to approve. On the question. Anybody? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to new business. A, DMMC 2018 Legislative Action Program Resolution. Board to approve a resolution to endorse the 2018 Legislative Action Program of the DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference. Now I'm going to turn to Trustee Addington to provide a little bit more information.
Every year, the Mayors and Managers Conference has a legislative agenda, and those were all presented to you a few weeks back. Basically, there's 5 items this year that we're asking to be supported on. protecting local revenue, which of course is one of the real biggies, which is don't touch what we're already getting, leave it alone, because we know what we're doing with the money. As well as some initiatives that we have put forward, including changing some of the things like the hotel motel tax, to let some of that get used. But every year, we, at mayors and managers, ask each community to pass a resolution in support of the 2018 legislative package as presented. So I will make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second. Nero.
Motion been made and second to approve on the question. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business B, Hudson Energy. Board to consider an ordinance approving a contract with Hudson Energy for the natural gas supply to the village-owned properties. Manager May.
Yes, we actually covered this fairly well 2 weeks ago at the Administration Finance Committee, but this is for natural gas supply for village-owned buildings and facilities. It's not a village-wide aggregation, but it's for our own purchases. We have, the contract allows that arrangement with Hudson Energy. There is no direct fee for this. They're covered in the rate, and from the initial staff analysis already, we're going to be about anywhere from 8 to 10% better in costs for this relationship. So I would ask that it would be.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Addington.
Motion made and second to approve on the question. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business C, PACE agreement. Board to consider an ordinance approving a release and hold harmless agreement with PACE for emergency bus service. And we're looking in the audience. We're going to have Chief Weiss give us some additional information.
Thanks, Mayor. PACE has historically provided free buses to the village in response to emergencies. The buses are used as warming shelters for firefighters in the winter, are used to transport residents after fires and other emergencies, and are used for evacuation services. In order to continue providing this free emergency bus service to the village, PACE requires that the village approves a release and hold harmless agreement which provides indemnification to PACE. And we have used both PACE and the local school bus services here on 63rd Street several times over the years, and they've provided great
We've had
service.
this agreement in place for years.
Something they've provided, all along, and there's no cost to doing this. It's a service that they offer. They just ask that we mutually indemnify each other for this free.
It's not mutual indemnification, it's just,
And by them.
yeah,
It's
we're
theirs,
indemnifying
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Text them.
For helping us. All right.
Thank you.
Motion to approve, Barry?
Second. Nero.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business D, water rate adjustment. Board to consider an ordinance amending water rates. I'm going to turn to Finance Director Parker.
So as the board is aware, this is an item that we've discussed at a couple of different committees, but for the benefit of the public, I want to provide a little bit of additional background that I know will be a repeat for the village board. So that the public's aware, this price increase is needed to address a couple of different pieces. One is the cost that it is for the village to obtain water. So the sources where the village obtains water, the DuPage Water Commission, who gets the water from the city of Chicago, both of those entities have been increasing their rates over the last little while, and so the village is continuing to pass on those rate increases to the residents. As our costs go up, we have to be able to maintain that revenue coming in to offset those costs. So that is a portion of the increase. Additionally, there are some infrastructure needs that the village has seen over the last couple of years. As you'll recall, when we had the strategic plan, one of the focuses of that strategic plan was to start looking to the future taking a long-term view of things and being strategic and visionary as we went through the things that we do in the village. So as a result of that, the Public Works Department did a study where they looked at upcoming infrastructure needs. They identified a lot of infrastructure needs that needed to be addressed, including aging water mains, aging water meters, an aging water tower, and then also the need that had been talked about for several years to construct an additional water tower on the north section of town, and Trustee Nero mentioned that briefly earlier today. And so to be able to provide for these infrastructure needs, the water rates were lower than they needed to be able to take care of these future needs. They were about where they needed to be to fund ongoing operations and to be able to continue to get the water to people, but to be able to take care of these larger cost needs for the future, we needed some additional revenue. As we looked at other water rates, we realized at that point, so this was back in 2016, that the best way to do this would be to have incremental increases. So instead of saying, we have a lot of infrastructure needs over the next several years, so let's raise water rates all at once, it was determined that the better approach would be to start incrementally raising water rates. So the first year we did it, we had about a 92-cent increase. This year, in the next several years, we're looking at a 40-cent increase to fund these infrastructure needs. So that is the reason for the water rate increase, and we'll see a similar increase again next year. The next couple of years is the anticipation.
Do I have a motion?
So move Guzzo.
Motion been made and second. Comments or questions? Yeah, Bruce.
Bruce, okay.
Any questions?
Just a comment, Mayor, so the residents know, in places, other parts of the country, Georgia, a lot of the East Coast, they pay about quadruple what we pay for 1,000 gallons. So although many think it's high, it's not high. We're very lucky here. That's all.
Another comment I'd also like to make is the things that we need as far as infrastructure that Spencer was talking about is that we don't have other revenue choices. And we're up against a wall, and because we're not home rule and we can't take it from here and we spend it over there. This is one of the few revenue streams that we do have, and it is a reasonable increase. Nobody wants an increase, but it is something that we don't really have a choice.
I think to point out that the money from the water rate increase stays in the water department. It's not used for anything else. It's replacing mains, new water towers.
And we have some of the best water around.
That's right.
That is also a very positive.
Any additional comments? Anybody in the audience? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Adams?
Yes.
Motion passes. New business E, audit firm selection. Board to consider an ordinance approving the selection of the village's independent audit firm and authorizing staff to execute an engagement letter. Director Parker.
This is also an item that the village board has discussed at the committee level, but again, I'll provide a little bit of background information. Every few years, the village looks out to see what costs we can get in terms of auditors. We're required to complete an audit and have an audit completed every year, which we do. And so we wanted to take a look to see which audit firms were out there, which ones would be able to give us the best cost, as well as provide the best service. In this specific type of service, we're able to take both items into consideration, and after reviewing proposals from the audit firms, staff has recommended, and then also the Administration and Finance Committee recommended the selection of Sikich as the village's auditor. They have a wealth of experience in the area. They have a lot of municipal clients. They also have a large number of partners and staff. One of the items the village was looking at was the ability to rotate staff within the same firm so that we could continue to use their same infrastructure and software system, but be able to get a new, fresh perspective every couple of years rather than going out necessarily to a new audit firm. So it's a good way to improve efficiency, but still be able to maintain that fresh perspective as needed, and that's one of the great benefits of Sikich because of their large number of employees and partners that specialize in government audits.
So this is 3 years plus the ability to go 3 more.
Yes, that's correct.
They're municipal, 100%. So
And they've audited us before.
they have.
They have.
Years ago. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Barry?
Second, Little?
Motion been made and second to approve. Any comments?
She's a half a second slow on every item.
Just an audit.
Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Motion passes. New business F, declare as surplus equipment from IT. Board to consider an ordinance to declare the attached listing of computer equipment as surplus. And
Mayor, well, that actually sums it up. I mean, there's a list of equipment that has served its useful life. When they can sell it, they will. Sometimes parts go to auction, sometimes they go to People's Resource Center. It's just, the disposition varies depending on the item, but this is surplus equipment.
I just thought Glenn would get on TV, but do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Little.
Motion made in second.
That was good.
On the question? None? Roll call, please.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Motion passes. New business G, 2018 Village of Westmont official zoning map. Board to consider an ordinance approving the revised Village of Westmont zoning map dated
Did you wait till
December
the end, huh?
31st, 2017 as the official 2018 zoning map. Director Ziegler.
Thank you, Mayor. This is our annual request to update the zoning map. This includes everything from January to January, several rezonings, including the large Hilton redevelopment, and several single-lot subdivisions, which resulted in additional single-family homes in the village. So if you have any questions, I'm available.
This is an annual,
Yes. We're required to do it by the end of March by the state.
and I think you provided all of us.
Yes, full-size copies.
You got
Yep.
new beautiful color copies.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Addington.
Second, Little.
Motion been made and second to approve. Any comments, questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to miscellaneous.
Thank you.
I don't know if any board members our attorney has some miscellaneous.
I'm going to miss the next board meeting on March 29th. I'll be out of town, and Anne Marie Perez will attend in my place.
She's pretty
To go along with that, right now, I've talked to the manager, May, and he probably was going to say this, there doesn't appear to be anything for that agenda. So if that's the case, we'll probably.
We have no items in
Yeah.
queue. It is the third meeting of the month, which that doesn't affect our pattern anyway. We meet every 2 weeks. Finance ordinance-wise, we can handle that with lack of agenda and known, not just the attorney, but there's multiple absences forecast for that day too. So
I would be gone then too.
so if you want, you can officially cancel it right now, but we were just going to, with 48 hours' notice, we were just going to publish that.
Well, you want to hold off until you see
Yeah,
it?
hold off and see
Okay.
what pops up, just in case. I'm sending Anne Marie anyhow, so.
It's sitting in an empty room.
I think
That's good.
I wouldn't be there either, but the next meeting would literally be a month. We'd have our budget meeting before the next.
Yeah.
So that's why if we do get anything, still can meet, there'd be a quorum.
Can I ask about the budget meeting then? We picked it off Thursday on purpose and a 6 o'clock start like we typically do, but you also requested a separate section for capital projects review, kind of differently, and we don't normally do that during the budget workshop. So it'll be a little bit longer. My only question is I don't know about availability, if you would care to start earlier than 6 o'clock. Maybe just let me know if you have, the ability to meet earlier on that. Is it April 5th?
Like 4:30 or?
Whatever, I'll just poll everybody's availability.
I can be here, I can be here after I park the bus, so, 4
And
o'clock.
what date is that?
Thursday the 5th.
April 5th.
April 5th?
5th.
Yeah, 4:35.
April 5th. Yes.
We'll publish it that way, sounds
And,
like.
and at those capital improvements, I know trustee Addington's mentioned a couple times, is there going to be somewhat of a prioritization from staff as far as?
Yeah, like the full budget, you'll see the whole program and all the requests, including the ones that have been eliminated or postponed into different years. And, but the purpose of the workshop is to see if there's any reprioritization, with your input. So you will see what we have in the budget, and you'll also see what we had preliminary taken out.
Great.
So staff has done that.
Great.
I think that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
So,
Gives us direction.
Yeah.
This is
I
great.
have one suggestion, that maybe we start the Public Works Committee meeting a half an hour earlier than we do, because they can never get through their agenda. Ever.
I'll ask the chair that we may want to consider that in the future.
Yeah, and we only got through, what, half of it, so.
Right,
Yeah.
or even a
Just don't
different
get-
day or something, because it seems like we never get through.
That one, and sometimes public safety, those are the two that seem to have the most need.
But public safety seems to be able to get their items.
'cause they got a
in
good
by
chair.
6.
Had a good chair? Yeah, right.
But
There's a difference.
Public Works never seems to be able to get through this. There's just so much on
We can work
there.
on their technique,
Well,
too.
you gotta,
Let's see if they want to
Director
come
likes
back
to talk.
after.
Yeah.
does anybody else have any other miscellaneous? Did we miss anybody who'd like to speak? No?
Oh, but thank them for staying around.
I'd like to make one clarification to trustee Barry's comment.
Yeah, go ahead. It was reversed, wasn't
Uh-oh.
it? Yeah.
In trustee Barry's comments on the presentations from District 99 and District 60, he had the tax evaluations reversed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
$150 from District 60 and $95 from District 99.
I'm sorry. So 144 per year?
Yeah, 144 to 150 for District 60 and 95 for District 99.
That's,
My bad. I'm sorry. I couldn't read my own notes. Thank you, though. Thank you.
well, you could have left it at the lower amount.
Yeah, right. He was helping you out.
I know. Well, thank you.
Now I'm changing my vote.
Yeah, that's it.
Any additional, seeing none, we'll move on to, I need to have an executive session tonight, and I need a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss the purchase of property for the use of the village pursuant to Section 2C5 of the Open Meetings Act, and 2, the setting of a price to sell property owned by the village pursuant to Section 2C6 of the Open Meetings Act. Do I have a motion?
Motion to go into executive session for the two purposes stated.
Second, Nero.
Motion been made and second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Again, we're adjourning executive session. After executive session, there's no more new business, so the meeting would be adjourned. Again, thank you for coming.